All righty. Good morning. How was your weekend?
It was good. How was yours?
It was good. It was good. I got my South Loop condo on state under contract this weekend, and was just busy showing property and doing what we do. And I welcome Tom back. For those of you who know my husband Tom, he took a big spill on his biking trip in Montana last week, so he came home and they're not sure if he has cracked ribs or just bruised ribs, along with big scrapes on his legs, so he has to wear shorts to work. It's kind of funny to see, but and I shouldn't be laughing really, but he's doing very well. But and I'm not being a very good nurse, so that's what's going on here.
Well, that's the thing about Tom is he has a very big sense of humor, so he's not looking for nursing; he's looking for laughter.
Yeah, he is. That's right. Yeah. He's right. He's enjoying all the attention, though. I'll have to say that.
Good.
Anyway,
so I got to go out to neighborhoods that I don't normally service or
tell me
know about with first-time home buyers. I was in McKinley Park, saw a beautiful condo there. Where else did we go? We went all sort of over in areas west and south of the area that I know, south of the river. So it was great.
Oh, and it was a beautiful weekend, at least yesterday, to do that. So absolutely. Today, everybody, we've got some fun topics to cover. I'm going to do a different spin on statistics today, talking about new versus resale. We're also going to continue our conversation about Surfside and what you need to look for in condo management to make sure that you're safe. We're going to give you our weekly Curbio update, the project that we're working on to sell a condo at a higher price. And then we're going to look at how to sell condos more quickly and why selling quickly is so critical. And then we're going to top it off, if we have time, with our second week of why has this home not sold. So that's it. We've got lots of ground to cover. So I'm going to share my screen and get right into statistics.
You're going to get rid of our names.
Yes, I am. I do that all the
time.
Love
our names there. You do such a nice job. Here we go. Ooh.
Okay. As I mentioned, we're going to talk resale versus new on single-family homes and condominiums. So this chart shows a Lincoln Park single-family home price per square foot. And I found that this neighborhood has the biggest disparity between new construction homes and resale homes. A new construction home in Lincoln Park is costing you on average $620 per square foot, whereas a resale home in Lincoln Park is costing $405 per square foot. And remember, we said this last week, the median sales price of single-family homes in Lincoln Park is $1,675,000. It is the priciest single-family home neighborhood in the city. So interestingly, this could be driven by the new construction that's going on there. You know, there's a lot of new construction rehab, the McMansion phenomena, if you will.
There's some beautiful houses on Orchard, Howe, Burling.
Yeah.
Really drive that price per square foot up.
Absolutely right. So then let's look at a different neighborhood, Lakeview, the neighborhood just north of Lincoln Park. And there's a disparity, but it's a much less, it's not as big a disparity, and it's much more reasonably priced. So new construction, $374 per square foot. Versus resale prices of $338 per square foot. And this is, keep in mind, this is over the last 3 years. So this doesn't even account for, this increase in lumber prices and cost to build that we're seeing today. Those are in the process of being built right now. So we're not even seeing those prices. All right. And this is the last one, I think, for the single families. This is West Town. So we're talking Wicker Park, Ukrainian Village area, and new construction is $321 per square foot, resale under $300. So again, certainly a difference in price, but a much more approachable price point. Condos. And we have new condo buildings going up everywhere.
Wow, look at that.
This is the loop in the north side. So it's kind of confusing. Let me break it down. The near north side, which is Gold Coast, Streeterville, River North, is represented in the reds.
That's new.
$767 for new construction versus $348 for resale. The Loop, we didn't have new construction for quite some time, but now we have, the Cirrus and the St. Regis. And so price per square foot is $817 for new construction. It just only went above near north in the last month. And I think that's because of all our St. Regis closings lately. So $817 per square foot for a condo if it's new construction versus resale of $315. So, again, these are the two big condo neighborhoods, the Loop and the near north. So just like Lincoln Park has a big disparity, so does this. And so now let's look over at Westtown and Logan Square. Okay, let's look first at Westtown, and Westtown includes, as we said, Ukrainian Village and the Fulton Market area. And new construction, $389 per square foot versus resale of $305. Now, interestingly, you can buy a resale in Westtown for the same price basically as you can get new construction in Logan Square. The new construction Logan Square price is $307 per square foot and resale is $286. And this could very well be what's driving that Logan Square market that's so hot, is its affordability. It's easy to jump on the Kennedy, easy to jump on the Blue Line and get downtown, easy to jump on the Blue Line and go to O'Hare. And it's just a really fun neighborhood. And besides, our mayor lives there. But anyway, just thought that was really interesting to see. And then finally, and this ties into what you're going to be talking about later on, which is days to contract. When somebody says to me, how long does it take for me to sell my condo or get a contract?
Look at all that data.
Yeah, I know. Average listing to contract. So let's go through it one by one. Logan Square is the quickest to go to contract. We just talked about its affordability, 15 days. Westtown, 21 days is the average between when you go on the market and when you get the contract. Lakeview, 25 days, and Lincoln Park, 30 days. So very good active market times. Oh, and I have more here. Oh, I have more. Oh, wait, that was single family homes. I apologize. This is single family homes.
That makes much more sense. I was thinking the condos are going that fast. Wow.
Yeah. So single family, 15 days, 21 days for Westtown, 25 days Lakeview, and 30 days. Okay. Now here are condos. Yeah, they take longer, but look at this. 15. Wait a minute. I gave you the same information twice. What's wrong with me?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, 15. Oh, no, you're right. The 1521 got me off kilter.
They just happen to be.
They just happen to be the same. Yeah. Thanks for bringing me back to reality. 15 and 21 days for Logan Square and West. So again, whether you're condo or single family in Westtown, you're flying. Condos in the Loop in the near north, 68 and 56. So there you go. All right. So that's it. That's my statistics of the week.
Well, maybe we leap in instead of going to the association stuff, talk about how things sell. So okay. A lot of people will take the information that Anne just gave us and say, well, everything's selling really quickly. I get to price it any way I want to price it. And that is so not true, as Anne will tell you, as any professional real estate broker will tell you. It's the world has changed. No one wants to negotiate. They want you to price it correctly, and then they want to lowball you, and then you negotiate it up. The world is past throwing a number out there and starting to negotiate, because buyers generally feel like if a property is overpriced, I don't know what the real price should be, so I don't even know where to offer.
Right.
So I did, because I track, and I think a lot of people do this, track what is selling fast so that I can share with clients what I'm learning from the market. And I've pulled together, and I do this in particular in the Gold Coast because A, I live there, and B, I sort of care about that market. So I'm going to start sharing some data, and I apologize right now, I do not have pretty graphs, but I have here, share screen, hold on, there we go, not screen, we want a window, Gold Coast numbers, let's just share this. So do you see what I'm showing you?
I see a chart of numbers.
Okay, so this chart of numbers are properties that went under contract in the last 3 months and how well they did.
And I'm looking at the far right column, market time. That's number of days on market, right?
Right. And I chose in the search properties that sold in under 30 days.
Okay.
And
so this isn't everything. You selected those that went quickly.
I purposefully selected ones that went quickly so that you could see, and the reason I chose this, I chose total market time, not listing market time. Brokers have a way of fudging the market time. I'll do this for your listing too, where we try and we cancel and we relist to get a new number. I use the total market time in searching for properties that truly sold quickly, that didn't just sell quickly because of we finally got this seller to come down to the correct price. So here you see what will happen if you price it correctly. These sellers got 100% or more, but always in the 90s of their list price. There's one that got 87% at Lakeshore Plaza. It's a building. This unit will look directly into the building next door, which is probably why it's been impacted. But what sells fast and sells well, meaning you get the right price, are the units that price it correctly. I mean.
And you know what I notice on this too, Kyle? It doesn't matter whether you're a luxury property at $1.6 million or you are $100,000, the same holds true.
Yeah.
So it's not just a particular price point. One could say over all price points, if you're priced on point, you're going to sell quickly. Yeah. And there's one for 108% at 1122 Dearborn. Right. So it's very possible you'll be selling over list price if you're really priced competitively. So,
when you see those market times in Logan Square being so short, what I'm seeing is a number of really professional people. Is it? Can you see now fast sales? Let's see. Yeah. Well, I did that also again in across 8008, same numbers. North side. So what I guess, so I'm going to unshare, stop sharing screen. Those numbers that we saw on your graphs, Anne, tell us that those brokers who are listing there are pricing it correctly.
Right. They're pricing it correctly. They're in a market where people are looking for well-priced properties and they're selling. Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely right. Okay. Ready to talk Curbio? So last week, everybody, we brought up this project I'm working on where my seller has hired Curbio to come in and renovate the condominium. We took a tour of the condo. It was an estate sale where she painted and put in carpet, but we decided we needed to do more so that she could sell. Here are the comparables that we used in pricing her place. There were none in the last 6 months in her building, but she's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for 1,350 square feet. And here are the comparables that are finished out, I must say. And here are the actives. So here's what we came up with. And this is our goal. We think that the list price after renovation will hopefully be around $575. Depending on the market, it might be a little less, more like $550, but we'll see. You know, I never set a price until we're there. However, if she were to sell it today, my projection is she would have sold it for $350,000. The project is going to cost $65,000. Remember, this is paid for by Curbio. Okay. So she doesn't have to pay any money out of pocket, and she could yield an increased sales value of $159,000. Wait, the profit's $159,000, increase in home value is $225,000. So
just huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, and see, here's the thing. Even if I'm off by a bunch on this resale, she's still going to benefit from this, right?
Absolutely.
Curbio uses an app where you can go in and see where we are at any point in time, communicate with the project manager and so forth. And so here's where we are. We're still sourcing materials. They're supposed to start work tomorrow. Mid-project walkthrough is going to be August 10th, and we expect to have it done by September 6th, which will be perfect. We'll put it on the market right after Labor Day. And they say that by 9/15, because we're going to stage it once they're done. I just wanted to show you quickly two other comparables that I considered. 2 bedrooms in this building don't come up very often. And the only comparable recently is 1,360 square feet in the building. It faces the back. This building, they either face the front and the street or the back, and they get this big terrace, but they're looking into another building. Notice too, the only windows are here. No windows anywhere else, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling a corner unit, and there's more value in the corner unit. But, oh wait, let me just show you one more thing. The sales price was in 2018. That's the last comparable of a 2-bedroom in this building I have. It was on the market 185 days, which is rather long. The original list price, $775. There you go. It was listed high. And then it came down to $665, sold for $645. Remember, I'm at $575. And look at this. We've got the granite, hardwood. This is what those back terraces look like.
Oh, great terrace.
Yeah, it is a great terrace. But remember, you're looking at a building here.
Yeah, so, with that terrace, you can make it really pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the last 10 unit in the tier. And this is the floor plan of what we're selling. So we've got windows on 2 sides, lots of light. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of these come on the market since 2014, and it sold for $525 at that point. But look at the interior. Now, hardwood floors, open kitchen, oak.
Yeah, that needs
that's the very last one of what we had. We're going to be, it's not going to be hardwood floors. It's going to be that engineered material. But we're going to be painted, pretty color. It's going to be all beautifully staged. We're going to have brand new cabinets. It's going to be a quartz counter. It's going to be gorgeous. So anyway, so that's the update for this week on Curbio.
Yeah, let's stay on top of that, because let's also, one of the great things about Curbio is they do this all the time. So they will not have some of the challenges that a lot of companies, a lot of contractors run into with condo management.
Right.
And so hearing what challenges do come up will be educational for people, because challenges for a lot of these companies, and they're well-meaning, and sometimes it's just associations have rules and you got to follow them.
Right. Well, like Curbio has already submitted the plans to them, shown exactly what materials they're bringing in. I saw a conversation about what kind of soundproofing material they were going to use under the hardwood, those kinds of things, these condo associations. So if you're doing this project on your own, it can be quite a challenge. And too, Kyle, there are many contractors who won't even work in the city because they don't want to deal with these condominium associations and the elevators bringing up the materials and so forth. But Curbio is so well versed in that.
And that's the benefit of this. A, you don't pay for it. And B, they know how to do it. Oh my God, they know how to do it. So that is fantastic. So one of the things we also heard today, so I was listening to NPR this morning, and the Surfside condo collapse continues to be a piece of news. And today on NPR they had a guy from an a condo association advisory firm that works with associations to make sure that they are in good shape so that they're ready to address any problems that arise. And the things that he told, they were talking about what should condo buyers be thinking about right now as they look to buy condominiums and are thinking, well, ooh, is there a big risk? And as Anne and I have talked about in weeks past, the things that people should pay attention to are the level of reserves, maintaining a level of reserves. You should ask for, and you will receive, at least a year's minutes of board meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you'll want to see are, one, that they have regular board meetings, and two, what's covered in those board meetings.
Now, what have they talked about? What's been discussed? Maybe what's been voted down and tabled for a different day, right? Do they not want to deal with the problem, or are they handling their problems appropriately?
And there are ways to look to have minutes. There are different schools of minutes. Certain schools of minutes are just votes. And if you see minutes that are not descriptive of what's actually happening, or these meetings are pro forma, that's not going to be a good sign of a healthy condo association that knows what's going on in their building. You're going to want to see discussion of problems, discussion of what to do about things, issues as they arrive. Sometimes a management report will be appended to minutes. You'll want to see transparency and discussion. But Anne is exactly right. You want to see what has been raised and what has been approved and what has been postponed. The postponing is, you'll want to understand, you can postpone certain things that are fine, like redoing the roof deck.
Right.
That's not an urgent thing, but replacing boilers.
Chillers.
You want hot water at some point. Then another thing to look for and to ask the seller about, are there any projects that have lingered? Like, for example, I know of buildings where they've been talking about replacing the elevators for a decade. And elevators, the beautiful thing about elevators is they work until they don't. They don't work. So getting ahead of an elevator project is enormously expensive, but it will enrage your association members if they stop working.
Right.
And another thing that this guy said on NPR was, and which Anne and I have also said, which is, it is not a sign of a healthy condo association to maintain an assessment at the same level year after year. That means that they've stopped accounting for inflation. They stopped building reserves. They are looking at the short term of what's out of pocket today versus the long term preservation of your asset. So you want not big jumps, but little jumps.
Right. And
finally, which I thought was an interesting point, is he said, and this was in response to a question, if you had to guess, how many what percentage of condo associations use special assessments to fund projects? It's a third use it a lot, which I think of as the small associations. A third use it for big projects, and a third don't use them at all. And he likes the ones that don't use them at all, that you're always building reserves. So anyway, that's it.
Well, I have a couple points to add to that conversation. Yes. The first is, I would agree that not having special assessments at all is wonderful. However, I've also had people say that when you pay high assessments, you're leaving money on the table, so to speak. It's really a fine line. Like if I'm paying $2,500 a month in assessments, 20% of which is going to the reserves, then when I sell, I'm leaving all this reserve money behind.
Just you are leaving it behind, but you're also getting it because the buyer sees a healthy value.
Sure. No, I get it. The other thing too is, and I don't see this everywhere, but I love to see a condo that's done an engineering study where they've actually paid a company to come in and do. It's kind of like when you're buying a home and doing an inspection where the inspector will say, okay, the useful life of your furnace is 15 years. You're on year 13. Expect that pretty soon you're going to have to replace it. Your hot water is so old, you're going to have to replace it. Your roof has, 3 layers. When you have to redo the roof, it's going to be a total tear off, that kind of thing. And they do this for condominium buildings where they'll say, over the next 5 to 7 years, here's what you can anticipate. And the buildings will share that with their owners so the owners can anticipate and are more amenable to an assessment increase perhaps. But I think that's a really good sign of a healthy condominium association when you see those. And I think people who are thinking about Surfside are thinking about that. What projects are coming up? My final comment is, if you see these beautiful concrete buildings along Lakeshore Drive and the waterfront, be aware that, I'm not saying they're Surfside, but I'm saying that buildings that are concrete, that face the elements in Chicago, have to be updated on a regular basis, which means drilling in, putting in some more rebar, shoring up, because they get chips and stuff over time. So if you're buying in a concrete building, expect that that's going to be happening every 15 or so years, right?
Yes, but at the same time, I live in a brick building and we have to tuck point all the time. Yeah. And so any
building needs
structure in the city of Chicago is going to need maintenance. It just is.
That's absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All righty. Do we want to look at what's not selling, or why hasn't this beautiful thing
sold? Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So I think this is a great house. And this is second in our series of why hasn't this house sold yet? This is 2225 North Lakewood. It is a beautiful triple lot house on a very pretty street with enormous outdoor space. So it's a ginormous house with more outdoor space than a lot of houses have for themselves. And it's being offered at just under $5 million. And it's come down $1 million since it was listed.
Wow.
So you come in through that gate, and here's the front door. So look at how pretty that front gate is. And what you see are these windows in the front patio are bedroom windows. So good heavens, how pretty and private. I think it's a repurposed building. It was something else, which explains this enormous truss that's going across the top. And it is one large space that has been divvied up into different areas, but it's beautiful for entertaining.
Wow.
Look at this outdoor space. So this is one of the terraces, and then it leads to a basketball court, etc. I mean, just beautiful outdoors. Can you imagine the entertaining you can do here? Look at how beautiful the kitchen is. All of the finishes are ready to go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so I was, sort of thinking to myself, why isn't this selling?
Right.
And I think it is just too much open space and not enough areas of room. Maybe.
Wow, I don't hear that very often.
You know what I mean? That it's all open rather than, so it's only a 3-bedroom.
Well, that's part of it for sure.
Then if you could carve it up differently, maybe it would be.
But it doesn't look like you can carve it up differently.
Well, I think you could, but I think it would take a really smart architect they've got this could be a bedroom. There's a lot of beautiful space, but it's in a way that isn't necessarily helpful to where you live. So, and then there's this beautiful upstairs. The upstairs is all the primary bedroom suite, and it's beautiful. But I don't know why it's not selling, because it is space, etc. On
my screen, the floor plan's pretty small. Can you go back to the first floor? I'd love to look at that floor plan. Can you walk me through the floor plan of the first floor?
Yes. There we go. So you come in. So here's the street entrance. So when you saw the first picture, do I need to go back to the first picture? Hold on.
No.
Okay.
No.
This is Lakewood here. You see my cursor going up and down?
No.
Right. To the right of the screen.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
This is all Lakewood.
Okay.
Enter through this gate. The garage is that middle space. It's in the front, but you enter through the patio here, and here's that foyer that I showed you, how pretty it was. Here's a bedroom window. And this is, and up above this is the second bedroom. So you enter here, and here's this huge living room that this 38 by 30, it says here, I'm sorry about that. It was such a small thing and I made it bigger, but 38 by 30, that's an enormous room.
Yeah. And
then this area is 39 by 35. I mean, just enormous space. Yeah. And sometimes, and with those high ceilings, it may feel not intimate. I don't know if you could do sort of those half walls or something to create a feeling of difference, of space, intimacy.
Right. Do you think that people are objecting to the trusses? It looked like a pretty traditional exterior, and then you see those big trusses, which I think are cool, but they're more loft-like.
Yeah, I don't know. But for example, here's a kitchen, family room.
Which is great.
I think it says reception room, breakfast nook, but it's almost too much space for all of it. And I wonder if I'm trying to go backwards. Hold on. I'm going back to your part about the trusses. Wait, let's see the trusses. There's a truss in the kitchen. I think you need it. If you don't have walls, if you don't have pillars, you need these trusses.
You need the trusses. They're kind of cool.
Maybe it's creating the support so you don't need that. You know what I mean? That if they went up to the ceiling and created rooms, you wouldn't need these trusses, or they'd be built into the walls.
Or maybe it's just flat overpriced. I mean, maybe if you were at the 4.2 mark, people generally want 4 bedrooms. I've found that if you're over a certain price point, you want 4 or more. And, this house is great for outdoor space, but, and
entertaining, if you're
exactly right. And entertaining. So maybe empty nester couple, somebody who's really interested in, in entertaining and whatever. But you're not going to raise a family in a house with 3 bedrooms.
So these people are, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's follow that. Let's put it out there. If you think, what price is this home going to sell at, do you think?
I think it'll sell in the low 4s.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say 4,250.
Yeah. I think that's a very correct price, just based on the fact that the next owner is going to need to do things to make it. It's a great canvas, but if you're going to have to put in a lot of work to change it, to make it right for you, it's going to be tricky. And your point about bedrooms, when people are spending that kind of money, they want more bedrooms.
Right. Or closed off office spaces or whatever. So cool. Thank you for bringing that. That was a fun one to look at.
Yeah.
So everyone, thank you for watching today. Please watch us next week. Send us your questions. Send us your comments. We are happy to talk more about what interests you. And as always, Kyle Harvey, Anne Rossley, happy to see you on Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Anne. Thanks for watching.
Have a great week.